Why do we have so many overage singles today of marriageable age? Why do we have so many working class, beautiful, handsome men, beautiful women, handsome men of working class? They've got the money, they've got education, they've got exposure, but why are they not getting married? Sad to say that we're having a great number in the church now. And I want to say that if the church does not give attention to this growing epidemic in our midst, we will begin to have the problem of immorality in the church like we've never seen before. You see, the reality is singles can't stay single for a long time and have those of us who are pastors and we're married telling them, hold on. It's easy to tell somebody hold on when you are holding on. But when you tell someone to hold on for a long time and the person stays under pressure for a long time, the Bible says, let not the rod of the wicked rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands to do evil. I'm therefore saying that the church needs to wake up. The church needs to wake up and begin to give attention to our singles. We're beginning to have so many young singles of marriageable age who are not married. We are having older singles who are not married. Unfortunately, with the way things are going, if God doesn't step into it and the church doesn't wake up, we're likely going to have a situation whereby we're going to have so many singles who may have to go to the grave unmarried. Not because they didn't want to be married, but because the forces that were at work against them far superseded their desire to get married. I'm going to go straight into the 8 major causes of breakups among singles. 8 major causes of delays in marriage among singles. Number 1 reason for delayed marriage among singles is what we call lifestyle. Lifestyle. You're going to like this one. Your lifestyle might be the reason why you are still single. Pastor Sam, what you mean by my lifestyle? I'm just going to explain that to you very quickly. How can somebody's lifestyle be a contributory factor to the person's singlehood or the person's being delayed from getting married? Very simple. I've seen lots of singles who wish to be married but are unprepared for married life. I see singles who wish to be wedded but they are unprepared for married life. I see singles who are wishing that they are married, that they are just married like right now. Pastor Sam, I just want to marry now. Pastor Sam, I can't wait any longer. It's now. I just want to be married right now. I'm like, really? Okay, though. So here's where the game lies. I know you wish to be married, but are you prepared to be married? Okay, let me put it another way. Are you ready to be married? So, when it comes to lifestyle, we say we have lots of singles who are wishing to be married but are living lives that indicate that they are unprepared and unready to be married. So when you are wishing but living an unprepared and unready lifestyle, it's indicative that what you are actually saying is you are not yet set for marriage. The wish is contradicted by your lifestyle. Okay, let me give you a practical example of what I mean. Here's a guy who says, I want to marry. I wish to be married. All right? But you still hang out every night. You don't come back home until 1 p.m., 1 a.m., midnight, 2, 3 a.m. You still go to the clubs, the bars. You still hang out with your friends until late night. Now, you are supposed to be a husband in the making. Show me how your preparation corroborates your expectations. See, here's the point. It is not the wishing that qualifies you. It's your preparation. Anyone can wish to be a doctor. It is the preparation that qualifies a man to be a doctor. Those who truly want to become medical doctors enroll in a school and subject themselves to the rigors of preparation so that they can indeed become medical doctors. You want to be a husband, but you know next to nothing about being a husband. You want to be a husband and you know next to nothing about being responsible. Your mother still pays your bills. Your friends still bail you out. You still have lots of debts to pay. For you, a wife coming into your life is an escape route from responsibility. She will pay your house rent. She will buy you gas. She will send you recharge card. Hello, sir. You wish to be married. You are not prepared to be married. You are not yet a man. You are a male. God wants to give a wife to a man, not to a male. So preparedness is what actually indicates a state of readiness. So your preparations, how you manage your finances as a husband to be, how are you managing your finances? Let me say it this way, sir. Sir, you can't sleep as a blunder in singlehood and wake up as a wonder in marriage. If it's got to be, it is up to you, sir. You cannot be an irresponsible single and hope to wake up as a responsible married man. One of the reasons why lots of singles remain unmarried, yes, you are educated. Yes, you are certificated. Yes, you are well traveled. Your English is impeccable. You speak Queen's English plus American English, including Jamaican English. I mean, you are that vast. You are a polyglot. But here's where I have a problem with you. You wonder why men come and don't stay? There are few things they have noticed. They have noted that it's like the only vision you have is for eyelashes. Now, calm down. It's like they've only noticed that the only passion you have is for fashion. So you're about to marry a guy and the first thing you're talking about, iPhone 12 Pro. The men want to marry you. Listen, sweetheart, can I warn our sisters? Sister, the more educated you are, the more exposed you are, the more experienced you are, the more educated you are, the more of earnings you have, please, the more challenging it will be for a man. Men usually have challenges. It's not that men are inferior. Men are concerned about women who are as exposed as you are. The first thing every man wants to be sure that you possess is humility. That is what guarantees longevity in relationship. Please write that down. Humility guarantees longevity in relationship. No guy will like to hang around you when you have your intimidating CVs and then you now have an intimidating personality. It's a disaster waiting to happen when you have an intimidating personality, an intimidating achievement, CVs, education. Now listen, if your certificate is intimidating, your achievements are intimidating, let your personality be inviting. Nothing endears a man to a woman like humility and respect. A man will marry a woman who is not educated because she's respectful. A man will rather sleep with his house help and marry his house help and give up his own wife because he perceives in her respect and humility. Number two reason why singles of all ages are having delays in marriage is indecision. The inability to prayerfully and properly decide on who to marry and go for it. You say you want to be married today. I think I like fair women. I like fair in complexion women. Tomorrow, no, I think I like dark in complexion women. Hi, today, man, I like slim women. Tomorrow, I like big women. You are confused. Hello, sir. Marriage is not your immediate need. Clarity is what you need, not marriage. You need clarity. You are not yet a man. A man is clear about what he wants. A man is clear about what he wants. He is so clear that when he sees his wife in the midst of the crowd, he can say, that's my wife. So clear. Nothing is stopping most men from being married. Indecision. Absolutely glad it's my heart to connect with you today. It's so nice to be back talking about marriage and relationships. So whether you're single or you're married, divorced, separated, or complicated, whatever the situation is about relationship, it is critical to understand that nothing gives you mastery in the place of relationship like knowledge. I'm going to say that again. Nothing gives you mastery in the place of relationship like knowledge. You can write that down. Nothing gives you mastery in the place of relationship like knowledge. The Bible says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your time. My people are destroyed. Their marriages are destroyed, not for lack of anything, but the lack of knowledge. Whilst it's important to pray, it is critical to have knowledge. In fact, your prayer will be defective if your knowledge base is bankrupt. You cannot pray more than you know. The more you know, the better you pray. It is just the power of knowledge. A man of knowledge increases strength. A marriage driven by knowledge and couples who are driven by knowledge, the strength of their relationships get better. Nothing drives marriages to the ground to a state of bankruptcy when it comes to emotional account like ignorance. Nothing destroys a marriage like ignorance. So the less you know, the more trouble your marriage is in. I'm going to say that again. The less you know, the more trouble your marriage is in and your relationship. So it's wise that you go into marriage as a single person armed with knowledge, armed with wisdom, armed with understanding. It has a way of undergirding and providing stability for your relationship. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I consider to be very important in marriage and relationship. It is called toxic behaviors. Yeah, I spoke to you some times ago about unreasonable behaviors in marriage and relationship. Today, I want to take unreasonable behaviors to a whole new level, and I want to talk to you about toxic behaviors. I'm sure you do know, as my people on the sound will help me with more sound, in my in-ear monitor so I can hear myself loudly. Now, I hope you do know that anything considered to be toxic is dangerous. So when we say something is toxic, we're saying that thing is dangerous. We're saying that thing is harmful. We're saying that thing has the potential to cause harm. In the same vein, in relationship, there are things we call toxic behaviors. There are toxic relationships. There are toxic attitudes. Toxic way of talking. So we want to look at all of that today so that we can have stability in our relationship. Hey, here's the point. Is it possible that you are the perpetrator or perpetuator of toxic behavior in your relationship? Or is it possible that you are the recipient of toxic behaviors? Is it so bad that you grew up in a toxic environment, so much so that the toxic behavior of your partner is now something you condone in comparison? For instance, a woman said to me, she said, "Pastor, my husband just slapped me again." And I'm like, "Man, woman of God, we need to do something about that." She said, no, Pastor Sam, just call him and help me warn him, you know. And listen to what she said. She said, "Well, you know, in reality, I was the one that offended him. And yes, he slapped me, but Pastor, really, because compared to what my father normally does to my mom, that was nothing." So here's the point. Growing up in a toxic environment has now made you to become, someone who condones toxic behaviors. Children from abused backgrounds sometimes learn to live with abusive partners. And they excuse their partners because of comparison. Well, he only just says my head is bad, but he never slaps my head. My father would say your head is bad and slap you at the same time. So it's dangerous for you to have grown up in a toxic environment and be in a toxic relationship and you don't even have an idea. All right? So let's get going today. I want to talk to you about toxic behaviors in relationship. The Bible says something, and I like it. In Songs of Solomon, the Bible says, "Take away from us the little foxes. Take away from us the little foxes that spoils the vine." Take away from us the little foxes that spoils the vine. What are the toxic behaviors that spoils relationships? What are those behaviors? We want to look at them today. We have to look at them today. All right? So it's important that we give attention to that. And I will do that shortly after this slight break. So just give me a minute and I will want you to get ready as I talk to you about toxic behaviors that actually destroys relationship. And I'm going to get started. I'm going to start by sharing with you 12 major things you can use as a checklist to know that you are having a toxic relationship. I'll be back shortly. All right, let's get back to the basics. So here's the point. I want to share this with you now. Quickly take note of this, otherwise I'm going to be slow so you can write. All right? And if you can't write, you will have to listen to the broadcast again. So let's get started. Number one, I want to talk to you about toxic relationship checklist. 12 things you can use to know that you are in a toxic relationship. It's a call for caution if you find over 6 of these things in your relationship. It's a call for caution. It's a call for pause is a call for help. Number one, your partner loves to manipulate you and control your actions. I'm going to say that again. Number one, you are in a relationship where your partner loves to manipulate you and control your actions, your interactions, and your decisions. It's critical. How do you know that you are in a toxic relationship? How can you tell? If your daughter is in a toxic relationship, how can you help your brother if he's in a toxic relationship? Number one, check out for manipulation and control. And what are the key things that usually are the focus of control? Number one, focus of control and manipulation: actions, interactions, and decisions. It's critical. If you find somebody around you, a colleague in the office, a sister, a son, a daughter, whose actions, whose interaction or interactions, is that okay? If you find someone like that, whose actions, interactions, and whose decisions are subtly manipulated, overtly or covertly, someone whose decisions must pass through the prism of somebody else's consideration. If you have someone whose actions are subject to somebody else's approval, if you have someone whose interaction is governed by somebody else's approval, gradually you may begin to check out for a toxic relationship. There is nothing wrong with setting boundaries, but there is something wrong with controlling. If a grown-up is beginning to have a partner who is beginning to say, hey, you know what? I decide who you can relate with and who you can't relate with. And that, yes, I know you respect this person, but I don't like the person, so you got to cut off, okay? For no reason. Once you begin to find such subtle manipulation, you should understand that the person might be in a toxic relationship. May I humbly ask, I've forgotten to ask you to share the video now. So would you be kind, everybody, go ahead and share the video now. Please go ahead, because trust me, what you're about to hear will save a life, will save a marriage, will save some children. What you're about to hear will save somebody instantly. Somebody's just going to come to sudden awareness that I'm in a mess. Somebody's watching somewhere and the person has been psychologically conditioned to accept toxic behaviors, but with what we are about to share, the person is about to come to light and suddenly realize, hey, listen, I'm in a mess. I'm in a toxic relationship. But how will the person hear if you don't share? I'm going to say that again. How will they hear if you don't share? So would you consider that something you would like to do? Go ahead and share the video now. Toxic behavior number one. Toxic relationship checklist number one is the fact that your partner loves to manipulate and control your actions, your interactions, and your decisions. Number two, your partner always threatens to leave you, to harm you, and to kill himself or herself. Your partner always threatens to leave you. You know, I'm going to park. I'm ending this marriage. I'm breaking up with this relationship. I'm tired. Every little thing, I want to go. Every little thing, I want to go. Every little thing, I'm done. Every little thing, pack the bag and move out of the house. Your partner constantly threatens you, and your partner constantly threatens to kill you, or your partner constantly threatens to kill himself or herself. I feel like killing myself. I will kill myself. I will poison myself. I will do something. You know, when you hear such, you should know you are in a toxic relationship. Don't take it to just be an attitude that is expressed out of anger. It is something for caution. Any partner who always resort to suicidal and homicide issues, please Don't take that lightly. Get the necessary authorities involved. Yes, toxic behaviors. Number 3, your partner always criticizes your words, your looks, your family, and your friends. Your partner always criticizes your words, your looks, your friends, your family members, and the person always criticizes even your physiology, which includes your look. All right? You look too tall. You're too short. You're too big. You're too slim. Your cheeks are too robust, and your eyeballs are too bulgy, and you know, all kinds of stuff, you know. And if you're not careful, you will be psychologically conditioned to accept such abusive attitude as normal. It's a toxic relationship you're in. It's critical to understand that. Number 4, your partner always intimidates, threatens, humiliates, embarrasses, puts you down, and makes you afraid of himself or herself all the time. Do you have a partner who constantly intimidates you? Intimidates you with knowledge, intimidates you with class, intimidates you with education, exposure, intimidates you with experience, with expertise. Your partner always uses contemptuous words on you, criticizes you, puts you down, demeans you. You are not in a normal relationship. You are in a toxic relationship, and you are with a toxic partner, and you are already building a toxic marriage. And ultimately, toxicity destroys. A toxic environment will ultimately destroy you. Someday, somebody will take one or the other person's life. And if no life is taken, your life will be completely destroyed whilst you are still alive. It's what a toxic environment does. There's intimidation, there's threats, there's humiliation. You are humiliated before your kids all the time. Your partner humiliates you before his family members or her family members. Your partner always humiliates you before visitors, guests. Always humiliates you in public places, embarrasses you. Always causes you to have your head bowed in shame. As a man or woman, your partner does that to you. You are constantly afraid of your partner, afraid of his next action or her next reaction. You are constantly afraid. And what that does is that it inhibits the expression of your words. You want to talk, you can't talk, you're afraid to talk, because if I talk, something is going to explode in the house. So there's what we call a pseudo-peaceful environment. You have an environment that looks peaceful, but the reality is there's volcanoes beneath the surface. The issue is everybody is afraid of each other. You know, something funny happened today. My wife and I had to take some drive, and on our way home, we had to have some frank conversation with each other. Because no marriage becomes better if you avoid gray areas. You've got to talk about everything. Talk is the life of marriage. Talk is the life of relationship. Avoid repression. Avoid suppression. Avoid oppression. Is that okay? Avoid oppression, suppression, and repression. In relationship, let there be expression. It's critical that we give attention to that. Number 4 on the checklist for toxicity in relationship. Your partner always avoids you, ignores you, disregards you, makes you feel unwanted or unwelcomed. Oh, can I say that again? Your partner always avoids you stylishly, cleverly. Your partner always avoids you. Whether it's a man or a woman, they have developed the art of avoidance. For the man, he may want to come back late just to ensure that by the time he's arriving home, you are almost asleep. It's an avoidance strategy. And then he wakes up pretty early and goes to work even when he's not needed at work. It's an avoidance strategy. So he has a mattress at work. So he leaves home pretty early in the name of going to work early, and he gets to work and begins to sleep from 6 a.m. until about 9 when he resumes work. The whole idea is to avoid you. And you know, for the women, you stylishly ensure when the man is around, you go into the kitchen, or you hang out with the kids, or you find your hair to be picking, or you find some nails to be doing. The whole idea is that you're just trying to avoid the man. It's an avoidance strategy. And some of us become masters at avoidance. The unfortunate thing about avoidance in relationship is that it continues to widen the gap of misunderstanding, miscommunication, and ultimately it widens the gap of interaction. Oh, I know you will need to listen to this over and over again today. All right? Okay, so, and you need to get your friends on board right now if you can. Share the video with them on your WhatsApp pages. Tell them, join me now. All right? Let's get on to number 6. But before I get to number 6, remember that I said one of the signs, one of the toxic signs that your relationship is in a toxic environment is the fact that your partner avoids you, but not only that, ignores you, and not only that, disregards you. Disregards you, makes you feel unwanted and unwelcomed. The moment you come, you're smiling. Hi, good evening, sweetheart. And you're like, thank you. The words of your partner become staccato. Your partner goes into brevity when you want elongation. Your partner becomes controlled in the expression of his words or her words when you want to really have deep intimacy and deep interactions. They are all the signs that your relationship is actually being affected and inflicted and affected by toxicity. All right, let's get to number 6. Your partner always accuses you wrongly as a strategy for defense. Your partner will attack you so that you do not focus on the weakness of your partner. So your partner attacks you wrongly, blames you unnecessarily, distrusts you regularly, suspects you needlessly, tracks, trails, and monitors you daily. Your partner seeks to control you continuously. Whoa, Pastor Sam, you just packed in so much right in there. Absolutely so. Get ready. I'm going to unpack it for you now. Here are some of the signs you can use to know that you are in a toxic relationship. Number 1, your partner always blames you wrongly. Right? Your partner always blames you wrongly. You need to send this video to I promise you, you need to send it to someone you care about to rescue their relationship. Your partner always blames you wrongly. And your partner blames you wrongly confidently. Your partner blames you wrongly audaciously. Your partner blames you wrongly authoritatively. It is what we call the foolishness of arrogance in expression. That someone is willingly ignorant and arrogant at the same time. So your partner blames you wrongly, accuses you wrongly, not only that, blames you unnecessarily. Your partner blames you unnecessarily. Your partner blames you unnecessarily. It's critical that you take note of that. All right? Number 3, your partner distrusts you regularly. Your partner distrusts you regularly. Your partner never trusts you for anything. You can be as true as an angel, your partner just doesn't trust you. It's just for whatever reason, your partner just will not trust you. Not trust you with money, not trust you with the house, not even trust you with the car. Your partner will not even trust you with the key. So you wait outside until your partner comes to open the door. All right? For as long as it will take. So take note of this. As we talk about partners, we're saying that your partners also suspect you needlessly. Your partner suspects you needlessly. First is the fact that your partner distrusts you regularly. Then the next thing, your partner begins to suspect you needlessly. You're in the office and the next thing is your partner calling. Whose sound am I hearing in the background as I'm talking with you? I'm hearing a sound like, wait. I just had like a lady's sound behind. Are you with who? Who are you with? Listen, my friend, I'm at my workplace. And we share, we have an open office, and Clara's desk is next to mine. And she is our public relations officer. She picks the phone all the time. And whenever I'm talking, Clara's voice comes into the phone. Okay? All right, so can you give out the phone? Let me know. All right. So gradually your partner begins to hallucinate. Your partners begin to have issues with imagination, strange imagination. Seeing you with partners, with multiple partners. The same thing with the man. You begin to suspect your partner needlessly. You begin to track, trail, and monitor your partner daily. So you now take on the job of an FBI SSS agent. You now become an Interpol. Is that okay? Some of you actually develop what you call hacking skills. You now develop very powerful and sophisticated skills when it comes to trailing and monitoring and tracking. You even go for a course on that just because of your partner. So you track, you trail, you monitor. And you do that daily. You have wigs. You're a man, but you have wigs. All right. Trailing an innocent woman. And unfortunately, all your trails always lead her from home to work, home to church. But something inside you keeps telling you she's cheating. And the reason why, usually, most times, the reason why we trail like that is because we are involved in the same. Because love, believe in all things, and a pure heart never suspects that people do bad things. Even though people do bad things, but it's important to realize that until you are given a reason to begin to suspect, you do not begin to suspect from love. So, part of toxicity in relationship is the fact that your partner begins to monitor you daily, but not only that, seeks to control you continuously. Your partner wants to control you continuously. Do you know anybody like this? All the things I've been sharing right now, do you know anybody who is in that kind of situation? In your office? At home? In your church? Why don't you just send the video to them and let them be a part of it? Let them get to hear what the Lord is saying. Number 7, how do you know that you're in a toxic relationship? I'm going to be sharing 12 with you. How do you know that you're in a toxic relationship? Your partner disrespects the people that you honor and isolates you from the people you love. Can I say that again? Your partner disrespects the people that you love and isolates you from the people that you... Can I say that again? Your partner quickly does one thing. And that is to isolate you from the people that you do love and disrespects the people that you do honor. So if there's anybody that you honor, one of the things that your partner will always do is to disrespect the people that you honor, and then will ensure that you are isolated from the people that you love. The whole idea is to make sure that you are actually sheltered away from their interventions. And this happens with men and women. Men do the same to women. Women do the same thing to men. So if you're in a relationship whereby your partner disrespects the people that you honor and isolates you from the people that you love, you are probably, and most certainly, you are in a toxic relationship. Number 8, write this down. Write this down. Your partner doesn't care about you, doesn't provide for or with you, and doesn't support you or your vision. Okay, and your partner does not respond to your need for affection. Pastor Sam, that's so much within a short time. Yes, I'm going to unpack it for you. Now write this down. Your partner doesn't care about you. Period. Your partner doesn't care about you. Your partner cares about your job, because that's one of the reasons why your partner married you, so that the job can be a support system to your partner. Your partner cares about your job. In fact, your partner cares when you don't go to work, and the partner will do everything to make sure you're at work so you don't lose the job. But your partner doesn't care about you in terms of what's wrong with you. How can I help you? You need some rest. No. Your partner cares about your job. Your partner cares about your car, the house. Your partner cares about everything except you. Your partner cares about the children, but not you. Your partner cares about the house, but not you. Your partner cares about the people you can connect him or her to, but not about you. You can be dying and your partner is still asking you to make a phone call to the people that your partner wants to connect to. Because that's what your partner really cares about. How to profit through you, how to profit by you, how to profit with you is the ultimate obsession of your partner. You are just a prop to be used in order to accomplish something bigger. You are not an object to be loved. You are a prop to be used. Now, okay, so let's get this straight now. Your partner doesn't care about you. Your partner doesn't provide for you or with you. Huh? Your partner doesn't provide for you, or your partner doesn't provide with you. As women, your partner doesn't provide for you. As men, your partner does not provide with you. It's a toxic environment. Your partner doesn't support you, nor does your partner support your vision. It's toxic. It's not going to help you. Your vision is not going to come to pass in that kind of environment. Oh. All right? So it's important that you get to understand that your partner, if your partner doesn't support your vision and your partner does not respond to your need for affection. You are a man, you have a need for your wife doesn't care about your need for affection. Your husband doesn't care about your need for affection. It's a toxic relationship. We're done with 8, we're heading to 12. All right? Number 9, write this down. Your partner is highly self-centered. Your partner is highly self-centered. Everything revolves around your partner. If it's not about your partner, it's not something to be considered. It's all about your partner. The world revolves around your partner. It's critical to know that that is a toxic relationship. Your partner is highly self-centered. Put it another way. Your partner is highly self-absorbed. Your partner is highly self-absorbed. It's all about me. Self-seeking. It's all about what concerns me. Your partner is self-serving. It's all about meeting my own needs. Your partner is self-promoting. It's all about advancing my own cause. Do you have a partner like that? Do you know a partner like that? Or do you have a friend who has a partner like that you know? The partner is highly self-centered, highly self-absorbed, highly self-seeking and self-serving and self-promoting. Is that somebody you know, or is that you? So in this kind of relationship, the partner considers you as an object to be used and not a person to be loved. Therefore, you don't matter to the person. You don't matter to the person. Your feelings don't count. Your emotions don't matter. It's all about him or it's all about her. It's a narcissistic tendency. Okay. Let us hit number 10. All right? Okay. Number 10. Your partner frequently abuses you. Your partner frequently abuses you, whether it's a man or a woman, your partner frequently abuses you. And that can be sexually, that can be emotional, it can be emotionally, it can be psychologically, it can be physically, it can also be financially. There's financial abuse, there's psychological abuse, there's emotional abuse, there is sexual abuse. Your partner constantly abuses you, demeans you. Your partner constantly puts you down, speaks verbally in such a way that it reduces and undermines the integrity of your femininity or your masculinity. Your partner speaks to decimate you. Your partner speaks to break you down. Are you in that kind of relationship? It's a toxic. And if you are single, you're not married yet, and you're having all of this in your relationship, among the 10 that I've mentioned, how many do you have in your relationship? Even if it's one, that's red flag. You better start giving attention to the kind of relationship you're in. See, as I say, your partner always abuses you. It is important to know that part of abusing you is to make you feel responsible for their irresponsibility. Make you feel responsible for their inactions or actions or reactions. When it comes to the school of responsibility, everybody must take responsibility for his or her contribution to the destabilization of the relationship. Can I say that again? When it comes to responsibility, every party in the relationship must take responsibility for your contribution to the destabilization of the relationship. Listen to me, you never have destabilization without two parties making investment. So crisis never happens without the input of two individuals. A relationship is not dysfunctional by just one party acting foolishly. It takes the investment of foolishness from both parties for a relationship to be dysfunctional. In the same vein, crisis is usually triggered by the contribution of two parties. Yes, you said, and that was why I said. It is true, he said, and that was why you said. When it comes to making marriages work, he must take responsibility for what he said, and you must take responsibility for what you said because of what he said. He slapped me, that's why I slapped him back. Yes, he takes responsibility for slapping you. You must take responsibility for returning a slap. It is what responsibility is all about. Everybody, yes, Pastor, it was when she said something like that when I was about going out. That's when I hit her head with the wall and all of that, and that was why she started bleeding. Pastor, she was the one that said something. That was why if she didn't say something, I would not. No, sir. She said what she said. You had several options. You could have walked out of the room. You could have gone back to lock up yourself in the room. You could have called someone to come to your aid. You did what you did, and you must take responsibility for your actions, which is actually a reaction to our own action. So action, reaction, everybody responsible. Pastor, it was my wife, because she wasn't giving me sex. That's why I went out to go and have an affair and all of that. Yes, she is responsible for not giving you sex. You are responsible for going to have an affair. Let's get to number 11 quickly. I guess we need to do that. Number 11, your partner frequently denies or minimizes the gravity and impact of his or her terrible abusive attitudes, behaviors, or actions or inactions towards you. I'm going to say that again. You are in a relationship and your partner always minimizes, undermines, and never accepts truly the responsibility for whatever the person has done towards you. The person slaps you I mean, I was in a situation recently whereby we're trying to resolve a conflict between a couple. The man had actually slapped his wife and all of that. And then listen to what the man said when we started talking. The man said, well, Pastor, I didn't slap her. I only shoved her. I'm like, really? I said, describe shoving to me. What does shoving look like? He said, well, Pastor, I just like, just give it. I just gave it to her like that. Pastor, it was just a sliding. It was a sliding slap. So it's a shoving. I'm like, I said, look at you. You're shoving. Sliding slap. I never heard about sliding slap. Shoving slap. Listen, have you met people who do terrible things, and after they've done terrible things, they do not see the gravity of what they've done? They undermine it. They just makes you, they deny it, they minimize it, they undermine it. They make it look like what happened was nothing. Hey, you slapped a woman, you kicked a man, you burnt a car, you destroyed your wedding pictures, and you do not have any negative. You can't print another. You threw your wedding ring into the toilet. You flushed it into a sock away. It happened. Don't come around later and be saying that, well, it was just, don't undermine it. You do not have reconciliation when you undermine the gravity of anything. You can never have genuine reconciliation when you undermine the gravity of a situation that creates conflict. Number 12, I need to quickly hit this point before we move to the next point. I'm sure you're all writing. I see that Mary Jane is laughing. Jaja is laughing. All of you are all laughing. Somebody said, may God help us. Really? God really has to help us. Let's hit number 12 checklist. I'm sure you're checking the list, right? Number 12 checklist. Your partner is unbelievably nice, very spiritual, very generous, and loving to outsiders, but cruel, harsh, mean, selfish, vicious, wicked, brutal, remorseless, heartless, inhuman to you and those who live with him or her. Your partner is extremely and unbelievably nice. People talk a lot about how nice your partner is, how wonderful. When you hear people talking about your partner, you're like, who are they talking about? You are just so amazed. Who are they describing? Is that the man that I know, the woman that I know at home? Your partner is unbelievably nice outside, very spiritual. Your partner is called the most spiritual man, spiritual woman of God in your church. And you are just like, really? This same, I'm not going to use the words, but you're like, this same stuff is that stuff? Your partner is so generous. My God, people are calling you from everywhere that your wife is blessing them with money. Your husband is giving them this and all of that. The only people that don't know about the generosity of your husband are those who live with him. Your husband buys cars for people, builds houses for people. Your husband buys Gucci, Valentino, Giorgio, just like that. Yeah, but you don't even see a homemade shoe. When it comes to giving you money, that's when your husband becomes angry, upset. But when it comes to others, the liberality of your partner shows up. The same thing with the women. You give to your family members except supporting your husband. So you need to check out. It's a toxic relationship you're in if you have a partner who is extremely nice to the public, generous, spiritual, and loving to outsiders, but the person is cruel to you, the person is harsh, the person is mean, the person is selfish, vicious, wicked, brutal, remorseless, heartless, and inhuman towards you. All right. Because of the time that I have left, I'm going to start something tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you about 12 major critical signs you can use to know that the person you're about to marry or the person you are married to is actually a toxic person. I've shared with you 12 signs of toxic relationships. Now I'm going to share with you 12 major indicators of toxic individuals. That's going to be my point of concern starting tomorrow. So if you have any question, anything that bothers you, it'll be nice if you get across to me and let me know what your concerns are. There's going to be a number on the screen. Use it to send your question or your concerns so that we can be able to help you with all of that. If you have somebody saying, Lord, help me. Yes, trust me. Listen to me. I love the fact that Tara said, I did all of that. Tara said, I did all of that. Tara, thank you so very much. We were all that way before. Hey, let me say this. This is not to condemn anybody. This is just to bring you to a state of awareness that, look, your attitude, your behaviors are toxic. And I'm going to get more specific tomorrow. So if you know anybody who you are concerned about and you're concerned about their relationships or their marriages, please send them this video and let them know that we're going broad scale tomorrow and we will shake some tables tomorrow. All right? We're going to be dealing with some practical things. How you can use to know clearly that your partner is toxic. What do you do if you're married to a toxic partner? We're going to be dealing with all of that also tomorrow. I can't wait to connect with you. 8 p.m. West African time tomorrow. And don't forget, by the way, that 5:50 a.m. West African time tomorrow, we're going to be spending time to pray for the release of the supernatural favor of God for open doors. I sense in my spirit that God needs to open the door of marriage for somebody. And for someone who's already married, I believe God is about to open the door of conception. For someone who already have children, I believe you need more money. So God needs to open the door of money. Money, money, money. More children, more money. All right? Praise the name of Jesus. And if God has blessed you with a wife or a husband that loves to eat good food, then you need much more money. All right? And if you like to go on vacation, then you need super money. So we're going to be praying for open doors in the area of finances. I can't wait to connect with you tomorrow. On behalf of my wife and my crew here, you need to help me appreciate my guys who are working in the team in this place here. They all arrive office every day at about 5 a.m. in the morning. And think about the fact that they are still here and it's about 9 p.m. And so they don't get home until about 10 o'clock in the night. These guys are extremely dedicated. Some of the best people you can ever work with. If you ever have a way of contacting them, please let me say a big thank you to my media crew. Fantastic guys. I love them to the bone. Thank you so very much. I look forward to connecting with you. If you feel like you want to be generous, you want to give something, you just want to say, look, listen to me. I've gotten value for my time here, and I just want to give something to support what is going on here. Feel free, take advantage of the information on the screen, scrolling the account details that you can use to express your generosity. We will not mind having you being generous. And don't forget, it is blessed to give than it is to receive. All right? So the Bible says that he that giveth, multiply it. He that giveth, multiply. So if you want to do that, God bless you for doing that. But don't forget, above all things, share this video with your friends. We'll continue tomorrow as I go practical into toxic behaviors in relationship and marriage. Until then, Sam Oye saying bye-bye.